Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Janani. Today I'm going to show you guys how I made these sunflower earrings. Like always, all the tools and supplies will be listed down in the description box. First, I use yellow clay and orange clay and roll them into snakes. I use this small amount of orange clay, then I press them right beside each other and flattened using a roller. This is so that the sunflower petals will have a gradient. After the clay is flattened, I went ahead and folded it in half and ran it through my pasta machine with the fold type first. For this process, I like to use setting number 3, which is about 3 millimeters on my pasta machine. I repeated folding and running the clay through the pasta machine until I was satisfied with the gradient. I felt my sheet of clay was a little wider, so I folded it in half and pushed the sides, narrowing it. And I repeated putting it through the pasta machine, and when I'm satisfied with my blending, I put it through the pasta machine one last time, and this time I used the thinnest setting on my pasta machine. I actually foolishly marked where my flower is gonna be beforehand. I don't recommend doing this. Using a sharp X-Acto knife, I created my petals. I made sure to cut with about 1/4 of an orange gradient onto the petals. I cut about 12 petals and arranged them in a circle. And then I cut the excess away. I use a needle tool to create the texture on the petals. I scored these petals using short and long lines. I wanted these sunflowers to be fuller, so I cut some more petals off of a yellow sheet of clay. I placed these in between the petals and cut the excess off. And of course, I added the same texture to these petals as well. To create the center of the sunflowers, I ran a brown sheet of clay through the pasta machine on the thinnest setting. Then I used this stencil to cut a small circle. I place it on the center of the flower and then texture it using the needle tool again. I first added some dots and then used the circular motion to kind of emboss it. As I was making these sunflowers, I figured that the easiest way to go about it is to lay the yellow petals first and then the gradient petals in between. This way the flowers look much fuller and it's so much easier. And I repeated adding these flowers throughout the slab. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram and make sure you tag me on your creations so I can share them. And now I am on TikTok finally, and I share behind the scenes stuff there, so make sure you follow me over there too. I wanted to fill up the spaces with some leaves, so here I ran my green clay through the pasta machine on the thinnest setting. Then I cut up some leaves and placed them right next to the flowers. Then using the needle tool, I added the details on the leaves. And I went ahead and loaded my slab with flowers and leaves. After the whole slab was done, I used my cookie cutters to cut the shapes for my earrings. Since it was a smaller slab, I only got to create 2 pairs of earrings. I created the smaller component using some black clay. After all the pieces were cut, I baked them in the oven for about an hour in 225 to 275 Fahrenheit. To find your own ideal temperature and time, I recommend you bake a couple of sample pieces. After the pieces were cured and cooled down, I went ahead and sanded my pieces. I will leave a link in the description box if you would like to see more of my sanding method. After my pieces were sanded, I drilled the holes for the jump rings. I used 5mm jump rings on all of my projects. And for these earrings, I did not use any varnish to finish them, but I did do my backing with bacon bond. And that is the end of this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and also on TikTok. These earrings will be available on my Etsy shop. The link will be in the description box. I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.